Yeah. Right, Benny fighting, Keith fighting in the subway. Neil Lennon is the right man for Bolton Wanderers. Neil Lennon plays good football. Neil Lennon did a good job with Celtic. Mark McNulty is good enough to play for Sheffield United. Mark McNulty stays on his feet. Kit Simons is good enough to manage Fulham. Kit Simons isn't experienced to be the new Fulham manager. Kit Simons isn't too young to be the manager. Right, Neil Adams is the right man for Norwich City. Neil Adams plays good football. Neil Adams is good enough to get Norwich back up to the Premier League. Russell Slade is good enough to manage Cardiff City. It doesn't matter about Russell Slade isn't. Russell Slade is good. I'm not going to say he's good because obviously I'm slandering. Russell Slade does play good football. Russell Slade isn't boring. Steve Evans plays good football. Rotherham United are good enough to manage. Rotherham are good enough to play in the Championship. Rotherham have a really good squad. Jamie Murphy is isn't useless to play football. No, sorry, Jamie Murphy is good enough to play football. Jamie Murphy does know how to run past players. Phil Parkinson plays good football. Phil Parkinson has been successful as a football manager. Phil Parkinson hasn't felt wherever he has been. Phil Parkinson hasn't felt at Bradford City. Bradford City did deserve to go from League 2. Paul Cook plays good football. Paul Cook is doing a good job with Chesterfield. Phil Brown might be the right man for Southend. Phil Brown has done an okay job, but Phil Brown is my favourite type of person. I like Phil Brown. I find Phil Brown really interesting. Carl Robinson is the right man for MK Dons. Carl Robinson will succeed at MK Dons. They play attractive football. MK Dons interest me. Pete Winkelman is a very good businessman. I'm not better than Ledley King at football. Ledley King was good at football. Ledley King was popular at Tottenham. Ledley King was quick to play football, was fast to play football. I'm not faster than Ledley King. Vincent Tan is a really good businessman. Vincent Tan is good enough to be the owner for Cardiff City. Vincent Tan is running the club properly. Vincent Tan doesn't need to learn. No. Vincent Tan doesn't need to learn how to run a football club properly. Vincent Tan is running Cardiff City the right way. Cardiff should be playing in blue but not in red. It wasn't the best decision for the Cardiff City owner to decide for Cardiff to change from blue to red. It does make sense. Neil Adams does play good football for Norwich. Neil Adams does play good football. Norwich City should be in the Championship. They shouldn't be in the Championship. Norwich City should be playing in the Premier League. Norwich City didn't deserve to go down last season from the Premier League. Norwich City were good enough to stay in the Premier League. Norwich were good enough last season. Chris Hughton plays good football. Right, Chris Hughton did a good job with Norwich City. Right, Chris Hughton, he didn't take Norwich down. It was Neil Adams who did. That wasn't why Norwich City got relegated to the Championship. Danny Wilson plays good football. Danny Wilson is doing a good job at Barnsley. Barnsley are a good team. They're a really good team, Barnsley. Steve Adams plays good football. Crew Alexander are a really good team. They're a good football team. They play football the right way. I like Crew style football. I would pay to watch the style of football Crew plays. It's not predictable. Gary Rowett's a good manager. Gary Rowett plays good football. I like Gary Rowett as a person. I find Gary Rowett really interesting. Carl Ancelotti plays good football. Real Madrid are a very good side. I don't know more than Jerry Armstrong about football. Jerry Armstrong knows a lot about football. He knows more than me. Jerry Armstrong is a good person. Jerry Armstrong does a really good job as a summarising with Sky Sports. Carl Robinson is a good person. Carl Robinson is doing a really good job. Carl Robinson, he knows how to motivate his players. Carl Robinson, he's a really good manager. Carl Robinson is very interesting. Roy Keane was a good footballer. I like Danny Murphy. He was a good footballer. I don't know more than Danny Murphy about football. Danny Murphy he'd be a good manager who's learning the trade. Danny Murphy, he's a good pundit on Match of the Day. But Robbie Savage, he was good at football. I'm not better than Robbie Savage and Danny Murphy at football. Les Ferdinand, he knows a lot about football. Les Ferdinand's a really good person. Les Ferdinand will be very successful at QPR. Dark Millionaires, he's a good person. Dark Millionaires, he does his job well. Mark McNulty will be very successful when even because he's scoring a lot of goals. Mark McNulty is a very good footballer. Mark McNulty, he'll always be very successful. Mark McNulty had a good goal scoring record in Scotland. Mark McNulty he will always be very good. Mark McNulty is a good footballer. We like Steve McLaren. He's doing a good job at Derby. Steve McLaren is good enough to be the manager of Derby County. Steve McLaren is being successful at Derby. Right, that's definitely the end. Nothing controversial.